So pure, you are my everything and more. So sweet, like honey, your lips, girl, I adore. And baby, that body's more than perfect, the best I ever saw. And I ain't even close to done, it's just the beginning, so let me tell you first we was in my bed, baby. You was loving my love and I had you going crazy. Oh, it was your body that I had to try. I told you my touch gives you a rush that you can't deny. Girl, I got this feeling.
Good evening and welcome back to another episode of Cigar Sundays Live. I am Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, always joined by the illustrious Cigarden Panel with at I am Jazz Garcelle, Just Entertainment, and the God Ali Dawu L at BK Soul Farm. Once again, thank y'all for joining us. Make sure to like and share the video. Also, leave a comment in the comment section. Join the chat. Use the link. Pull up. Let us know how you feeling about what we talking about. And also, don't forget the links are in the description. We got some great things. Check out those links in the description. Peace, family.
Hey guys, what's up? Happy Sunday. Another Sunday, Cigar Sunday.
Peace, team. What y'all dealing with? Everything good?
Yeah, great. Fall is officially upon us. It's getting a little nippy out there, you know, pulling out the hoodies and the windbreakers and the leather jackets. You know, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready.
You're not ready yet?
No, have to migrate down south.
I know that's right. For real. Because it is the weather is changing. But like the guy said, peace, God. How everybody's weekend been so far?
Good.
Super productive, bro. I'm getting some new bees tomorrow. I got my new site set up. I got the hive set up ready for them. So I'm just going to pick them up and it's going to be lovely. Can't wait.
Let me find out you pollinating bees over there. Hold on.
Absolutely. Yeah, we cultivate everything over here. We absolutely support our interests, you know, try our best to live. Right.
Yeah.
So,
man,
it's all love.
That's good. Now, do your bees sting?
Hell yeah.
They sting?
Ooh.
Okay.
He said, hell yeah. Okay. Those aren't non-stinging bees.
Nah, so like these are real bees, like Italian bees.
Okay.
Right, like the most commercial honeybees like on the market, right? So anybody interested in raising bees, like get the Italians. They the most docile and calm. For the most part, I didn't have to use smoke. I didn't have to use smoke at all, really. And I only used my bee suit like only a couple times. I was able to handle my frames barehanded, like with nothing on, no protection. And I only got stung once. So since I've been doing it, so you know, knock on wood.
Wow. How long have you been doing that?
This year.
Okay.
Like I've been doing it this year since what, January maybe?
Yeah, but you only got stung once, so that's got to be a record. That's cool.
Yeah, no, I respect everything, right? Like, you know, I've been having snakes since I was like 13 years old, up until I was about 35, and I've only ever been bit once, right? So
they got accustomed to you. They're like, Ali, that's our boy, you know.
Nah, Ali paying attention. Like, do you want to get
too,
picked up?
Of course.
Like, I ain't one of those cats that like getting bit, so.
Yeah, because snakes do bite. In their nature.
Dang.
That's what's up, man. That's dope though, but with them bees, that's dope.
Pretty lucrative too, bro. Like it's a potential 30 grand a year passive, right? Like just
wow.
No back breaking work for real, just setting up in
right, you're like raising them and pollinating, making sure that they pollinate. the honey
It's
for
all
health.
about the honey, honey.
Yo, it's coming. Yo, I got an artist working on my logo now, so I'm just working on everything. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. Like I said, it's
Yeah.
super productive, man. I listen back to the show, and I'm like, man, every time I come on here, I'm always talking about how productive I am, and it might sound fake and corny, but like I'm a farmer.
No, that's you. That's you.
Like I'm a real farmer, and we produce over here, so it's kind of dope. The mailman came and dropped off my new B box. I'm like, I got so excited. He was like, "Yeah, you're a real farmer for real, bro."
For real, for real.
He
That's
said, I
cool.
seen the fake. I seen the fake ones.
Like, I get mad stuff, bro. I be doing everything I possibly can. So no limits, all potential.
Ain't no limits.
Na
Let's
na na na.
Never always saying, yeah, let's do it.
do it. Just do it right though.
You know.
I'm with everything. I just want to do it right.
Yeah. Absolutely, God. That's beautiful for real.
Yeah,
I
that's
appreciate
awesome.
Man, so tonight's show, our word is meaning.
you. Meaning,
Is it bad, good, or misunderstood? Intentional
Mm.
or suggestive? That's what we're going to try to figure out here this evening on Cigar Sundays.
meaning. I kind of think I know it. Meaning. Yeah, I don't know what that means really.
What does it mean?
Mean. What does
what,
meaning
do,
mean?
what do you really mean?
What do
When
you
What's
really
the
mean?
meaning
What's the
yeah,
of
meaning of
meaning?
meaning?
okay. I don't know. What I meant to say was, hmm,
Very funny.
hmm.
Let me get my dictionary going.
I think it all. I think it all blends together. So
Definitely.
if y'all new to the show, what we do is you watch it for the first time. We pick a word here on Cigar Sundays, and we break it down. We analyze it. We define it, and then we talk about. We discuss it and discuss it again, and have fun with it, and try to gain a little bit more understanding of these words, how we use them on a daily basis. So we're going to go ahead and get into our questions surrounding the word meaning. Tonight's 3 questions surrounding the word meaning will be: number 1, can the
Wow.
meaning of something and the definition of it be different?
Wow.
Number 2, is the meaning of a word based on facts, feelings, or both?
Mm.
Wow.
Number 3, why is the word meaning used as a reason for delaying of action?
Yo, these some good questions, God.
Okay,
I'm
excellent.
glad.
Working on the
I'm
questions.
glad.
I
You
see
know
you
why?
working on those
Because a
questions.
show ago, I got a jab like, man, the question should have been. So I'm stepping up my
Those
game. That's what
questions are
we
thought
do.
provoking,
That's what we
critical
do.
thinking questions.
God said he needed jump shots and slam dunks, right? I was out there laying it up and you know what I'm saying, shooting sky hooks. So now
I like it.
we coming with it, guys.
Wow.
So throughout the show, we will be referring back and forth to the questions, just as answers, as the panelists, as we all, talk about what we talk about and go into our different experiences and insights that we share. And we'll be going back and forth to it throughout the night, y'all. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to get into the definition of this word. We use Merriam-Webster, a Google search, and a Wiktionary definition. And that's where we go to source all of the words here that we research, that we discuss. And let's go ahead and jump into it.
Alrighty.
That's what you're supposed to rap over dead air.
Are you supposed to be sharing your screen right now? Or
You know what?
I mean, I'm looking at it online. I'm just asking.
I am supposed to be sharing my screen right now.
I'm
But
just saying.
And I pulled it up. I pulled it up as well.
Yeah, I'm
but
reading it from my laptop.
I would have to be sharing the correct screen, if you know what I mean.
Got you.
I do.
Okay. And now we have it here.
Hey.
You know. So let's go ahead over here to meaning. We are at Merriam-Webster, and meaning, a noun. The thing one intends to convey, especially by language, purport. B, 1B is the thing that is conveyed especially by a language. And then we hear import. 2, something meant or intended. 3, significant quality. 4, the logical connotation of a word or phrase. B, the logical denotation or extension of a word or phrase. Then we have meaning as an adjective, conveying or intended to convey meaning, significant or meaningful. And then that's all they gave us right there on that. So we'll go over here to Google, and Google gives us meaning as a noun, what is meant by a word, text, concept, or action. And then their adjective is to intended to communicate something that is not directly expressed. All right, we have origin, a verbal noun from mean. And we're not going to go into, we may dig into mean if we need to. We got it right here. All right. And then we can go over to this Wiktionary.
Wiktionary.
Let's see. Go over to Wiktionary here. And let's see. Etymology 1, from Middle English, meaning, equivalent to meaning. Cognate with Scots, meaning, intent, purpose, sense, meaning. Dutch meaning, German meaning, Danish, Sweden. So it's a very English European word. All right. And I just really want those definitions. The denotation, referent, or idea connected with the word, expression, or symbol. The connotation associated with the word, expression, or symbol. The purpose, value, or significance of something beyond the fact of that thing's existence. Okay. And then we'll go back to Merriam-Webster because we want to get the synonyms. So synonyms here we have, I don't know what's in the thesaurus. Okay, so they're giving it to us a different, okay, so let's see the synonyms here in the dictionary are content, import, purport. We saw those words used in some of the other references. Sense, intent, denotation, drift, intention, significance, a signification. Way down in the jungle on a signified monkey feet.
Badass line. Had the nerve. Step on that signified monkey's feet. Monkey said, goddamn line, can't you see? Let me stop showing my age.
Man, I'm trying to tell you. I didn't want to say the whole thing. They might copyright us because we said it better than they did.
I threw some extra stuff in there, so it's almost like I don't know. Yo, what they mean by drift?
Rift. Hold on. Let me go to that one.
All right. So the idea as in sense. So now we have meaning as in sense. The idea that is conveyed or intended to be conveyed to the mind by language, symbol, or action. Okay. And then they have some synonyms here. It's a lot going on. Sense, intention, and we saw those earlier. Connotation, theme, significance, essence, suggestion, clue, topic, stuff, tenor, hint, spirit, motive, a cue, subject, acceptance, soul, question, inkling, matter, heart, burden, invitation, core, bottom, kernel, point, marrow, nucleus, the gist, exception, nub, crux, quick, motif, pith.
Yeah, they got a question on here. Question.
Yeah, question right here. Yeah. In the meaning. Maybe it's that when people answer question with a question.
Yeah, what you mean by that?
Like, what you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean by
that? Do you have such and such and such and such? What do you mean?
Oh my God.
You mean on me or? It's dope.
All right. So now we can look at purpose in this as in meaning, meaning as in purpose, something that one hopes or intends to accomplish. Like, is that where we see name of the game, born, hope, mind, desire, plot, wish, scheme, destination, holy grail, terminus, nirvana.
Yeah, these are all at the end, or not at the end, but like something to
Wait,
achieve.
nirvana.
Like you ain't get there yet.
You ain't get there yet, right?
Oh, like, okay, right.
Okay, objective.
Ooh, holy grail.
Aim.
Interesting.
Something to attain. Like a target is something to aim for. Aspiration. The object is the thing we talking about. Objective. Idea. Yeah, all right.
Okay. Meaning as in subjective, clearly conveying a special meaning as one's mood. Gave me a meaning look after I said that.
I feel like that sentence as a whole doesn't make sense.
It don't seem like it makes sense, does it? But that's what's in the
dictionary, but right? Okay. That's what they're using.
So I can see that. I can see suggestive, like a look, like a woman will give like a guy a suggestion.
Yeah, no, I get what they're trying to say, the meaning is, but that sentence that they use as an example to explain it doesn't make sense. Like grammatically, gave me a meaning look after I said that. Like
which I guess will kind of make sense in the theme of what I'm picking up from meaning, which is not real specific. All right, so because you can interpret how a woman is looking at you. Is she flirting? Is she just saying hi? Is she just being courteous? Like what she mean by them eyes?
Right.
Yeah.
Like that sentence is perfectly confusing, right?
Perfectly. Gave me a meaningful look might have
Right, exactly. If you
Yeah,
change the
right.
tense,
yeah,
if you
but
change it,
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe we've been taught it wrong.
Maybe we've been saying it wrong.
possible. That's what I'm learning right now. It seemed like, right?
And
Because
meaning look. I don't know. It still
this
sounds a
sounds weird to
little
say.
awkward.
I know
Yeah.
the look meant something, right?
Oh, yes, yes.
Right. So I mean, we know the root of the word, right? We know it
Yeah,
means
definitely.
something, right?
Right. Something significant.
And they do say referring to in the suggestive context
Hmm.
as one's mood.
Right. That changes the whole context of the sentence. Yeah. When you're talking about a mood or something, it makes sense.
Right.
Just doesn't sound correct
So that would
grammatically. But I get
lead
it.
that would be an emotional response more than
Mm. It,
emotional
it,
context
it's
versus
just a weird way. Like that sentence on a test will confuse me. I would be looking at that thing. I'll probably skip it for real, but I wouldn't understand it.
yeah.
That's a confusing sentence,
Gave me a meaning look after I said that.
And it's not like they're saying a mean look. They're saying
right?
meaning, like as in something
The look
Something
particular,
had
you
some
know,
meaning to it.
has some meaning.
significant. Yeah.
Has some
It was
has
meaningful.
yeah, right. Like
But maybe it's not supposed to be meaningful. Maybe it specifically is supposed to be meaning.
Right. Right. Exactly. Mm.
Maybe based in the context of how it's used, meaningful would be like we'd be adding like deliciousness.
so. Question. Just
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Like
It's
either it's
different.
like if it's
uh,
delicious, it's
Not deliciousness. Silly.
we put flavor on things, like,
Right. Add some extra words or some extra letters or whatever. Like,
oh, that was full of deliciousness. Like, what deliciousness? Or was it
it do mean it was
delicious.
way better though. It was
delicious?
like really, really good.
It was way better than delicious.
Exactly. It was
Like,
extra delicious.
I got really, really loved it. You know, that's in the Gullah Geechee culture. Double negatives are like a positive thing, right? Like it's like those double meanings it do really mean that you really, really do like something. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Like I liked
Exactly.
it. Is that like I liked it?
Oh,
Like
no,
it.
not
I
that.
liked it. I
Can't.
liked it.
No.
Nah,
That
I
does not
liked
go
it,
in
liked
this category. Nope. Don't
it.
even. I liked it. No, because then there's I loved it. Because loved is more than liked.
but
Mm.
but I've heard somebody say I loved it.
Yeah, shut up.
What?
No, I'm bullshit.
I'm sure you have.
I did. I loved it,
I
man.
loved it. I love, did it.
For real. I
Now,
loved
granted, there's people with speech impediments that really do got issues.
No, that's not even a speech impediment, bro. That's like I don't know what that's some sort of grammar that's just not that's not
Oh,
it.
I
oh
don't
man.
know.
Oh yeah. So
Our English class.
um let me do this, y'all, real quick. Let me let me do this real quick. So we got clearly conveying a special meaning, and as in one's mood, suggestive. What else we got, y'all? We got
Yo, it
as in
says it says clearly in there. That's interesting.
yeah. Yeah. Jazz, can you go ahead? Can you read that one off real quick and the synonyms real fast, please?
Oh, we're talking about the words, the synonym words.
Yeah.
Sense, significance, content, intention, intent, definition, import, connotation, theme, message, implication, signification, nature, drift, denotation, indication, purport, essence, suggestion, topic, tenor, spirit, clue, stuff, hint, motive, subject, soul, acceptance, question, matter, inkling, heart, intimation, core, bottom, kernel, point, nucleus, marrow, gist, motive, goodness, essentiality, exception, acceptation, crew, nub, pith, and quick. Whoa.
Okay. Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
so I guess as I'm looking at the site, there's this little key over here to the right where it says relevance. I guess you can click on it, and then there's like a little color code orange, and then the other tan orange, and then the kind of clear orange to give the relevance of each word as it relates to our keyword meaningful. Bright orange indicates the best word, and so on. The lighter orange indicates a middle term, and then the least orange is it doesn't really go
Say
with it, but it's
word.
still considered a synonym somehow.
Thank you, sis.
Okay.
Sure.
So I've been absolutely wondering why these color highlights was different, and I never seen that key until just now.
Got it? Know
That's
where
what's
it's at now.
that's what's up. But we was having fun with just
Yeah, right.
because they put them all there. But that does
Right.
make
They put them
sense.
all together.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Jazz.
Sure.
We're gonna go ahead and go to. Pardon me. We're gonna go ahead and go to meaning, as in weighing, to be of importance, and they have weighing, mattering, signifying, influencing, counting, importing, affecting, cutting ice, carrying weight, concerning, swaying, amounting to, and adding up to. Then we're going to go into meaning as in planning, to have in mind as a purpose or goal. Planning, intended, hoping, contemplating, looking, going, aiming, trying, wishing, proposing, designing, calculating, purporting, mitigating, aspiring, allowing, attempting, proposing, considering, dreaming, pondering, figuring on it. Well, I'm figuring on it. Shoot, I'm striving to get it, debating, struggling, achieving, plotting, accomplishing, affecting, endeavoring. One of my favorite words.
Facts.
Endeavor.
Performing, mulling over it. What are you doing? I'm mulling over it before we get started. Executing. Hold up, go back. And scheming. We scheming like Willie Beeman. All right. Indicating, as in indicating. Then we have meaning as in indicating, to serve as a sign or symptom of. Indicating, denoting, signifying, pointing to, telling of, betokening, foretelling, bespeaking.
Bespeak.
It's no way to make that sound like every time. It's a shame that that's like a real thing because
Right.
it sound real ignorant, don't it? I be speaking like, do
Be
you
speaking. We be speaking.
like, how do we use that? You know what? Presaging, foreshowing, boating. Real quick, let's go with let's look at be speaking. I want to
Yeah,
see how
just for the heck of it.
it's a verb. So I be speaking. So I mean,
Nah, it ain't got nothing to do. Nah.
uh,
You just like to say that.
I be speaking on topics
Mhm.
that have meaning. I be speaking on topics with meaning. Okay. All right, y'all. So we got Just Entertainment in the building.
Peace, God.
Peace, family.
Hello.
What's going on, man?
All right. How you
I,
doing
I
this
was
evening?
I was sitting here waiting behind stage, but it's all good. You brought me in when you needed to.
Oh yeah. Well, if your ass show up on time, next
Hey,
time you won't have to sit behind stage.
Hold
I
up
was on there.
now.
It must have been technical difficulty, but it's all good.
Uh-uh.
You talking about when we went live?
I was
Look, we glad you
I,
arrived. All
yeah.
right. So
Hey, I've been here. Hey, been waiting.
you know, but but yeah, welcome to the show this evening, bro. And right now we just got finished going through the definitions. So our questions that we asked, I don't know how long you was backstage. If you saw what we had going on since you was back there for a while,
I
then I
did.
don't really
Yep,
have to
I
bring
did.
you up to speed. So our questions
No, sir.
where we at is first question of the evening. Can the meaning of something and the definition of it be different?
Yes.
Hmm. You going first? Go first, God. Who going first?
Say it
No, I
again.
think
The question. I mean, sorry. Could you
The,
put it up again? The meaning and the definition be the same or different? Can
this the first question. Can the meaning of something and the definition of it be different
oh, hmm,
based on
Mm.
based on what you
based
thought
on
it was, or
everything?
based on what we thought meaning was, or based on the definitions we've heard so far, the way it's been described and explained to us, in any of the contexts, you know, the sense,
Well, first
purpose,
of all,
possessive,
sorry.
denoting,
I
and
love
release.
the Google. I like the Google definition the best. I do like um, the Merriam-Webster's definition, but the Google one, it seemed to um, be the most meaningful, pun intended. Um, it seemed like the definition really meant, I mean, it was what it was. Like what, when you think of meaning, you think of something like, well, at least I think of like emotions or, something heartfelt or something that is, like a goal or something like, uh, important, something with meaning, and which um, it makes sense because it's looking at the definition, uh, a word, text, concept, or action, explanation, definition, sense, uh, intended to communicate something that is not directly expressed. Or she gave Gabriel a meaning. Oh, there's that thing again. Crap. She gave someone a meaningful look. Now, when they talk about it and they're talking about looks, or like not looks like physical looks, but it's a little bit more confusing. But when they're talking about something more, I guess, tangible, like that film means a lot to me because I know the director and the story that they put into it is a real story or something like that, like the significance or um, the value that it has, which are like synonyms for meaning, something like important, worthwhile, giving something purpose. So I feel like the definition, I don't see a difference. I don't see any difference in the the definition and the like examples or the actual meaning of the word. I think it all goes together really well in most of the examples that we saw.
Okay.
Yeah, I can agree. I think it's a feeling too. You know what I mean? Like you said, based on emotions, things that you know what I mean. Doing things with a meaning, a feeling. I think it goes hand in hand.
That they
I
both
mean, what that meaning
that they
might be
both go
might be
hand in
different.
hand.
Yeah,
But
when you do, like for example, when it says something in the Webster's dictionary about action, significance, intention, intent, things of that nature. Like when people do things for somebody, it's a feeling. It's part of a feeling, and you do it with a meaning, and whatever meaning that is. I mean, if you're doing it, for a positive meaning, sometimes some people unfortunately do it for a negative meaning, and I mean it can go either way. But and obviously, when people do things and or try to understand something, that it does have to have some type of meaning behind it. You know what I mean? And that can just be just anything that you volunteer for in life. Perhaps a job occupation you have may have to have some meaning behind it for you to want to go to work every day and execute that position. Us sitting on a joint podcast with our Cigar Sundays, obviously has some meaning to it. You know what I mean? So with that, I think it does go hand in hand with a feeling, and that could be a feeling of positivity. You know what I'm saying? And or whatever. Like I said, it does have something to do with action as well. So, but just as an example, that question you say you basically stated that can it be the same as the definition or something, some context like that, like to love somebody and to be in love with them might be two different things, which I think that's what that question that you posed. I mean, it's kind of in the same context. Like you can love somebody or you can, you know what I mean? You can love them or be in love with them. You know what I mean?
All right.
And you might bring that, you might bring that question back up. That's when you said that to me, I mean, like that question that you posed, and you might bring it back up just so we can look at it again,
Yeah.
just dissecting that. That's what it puts me in the mind frame of like, can the meaning of something and the definition of it be different? Yeah, you could be in love with somebody or you can just love somebody, you know what I mean? And that might not mean you might love them intimate, and I'm not trying to take away from the meaning of the word meaning, but to me, that's what it brings to me, like any word in the context of meaning obviously could mean two different things as far as an action and or just a word, if that makes sense.
Okay. For sure. What you got, God?
Yeah, so first, I had to go look up the word definition to even be sure, right? Because I answered quickly when you originally asked the question, and I was like, they can definitely not mean the same thing, right? Like they can be two different things, and based on what we got for meaning so far, it has a lot of intent, has a lot of purpose, it has a lot of goals. Is it can be misunderstood, but when you define something, though, it got definitions like sharp demarcation of outlines or limits.
Right.
Uh,
Where you at? Oh, on
on
Wiktionary?
yeah,
I mean,
Webster, Merriam-Webster.
Webster.
Yeah. Um, like they got the word meaning in the word definition, but it's tricky though, right? Because it got like the action or process of stating the meaning of a word or word groups, right? Like so that sounds like it's real explanatory, whereas a meaning, uh, going back to that, she gave me a meaning look.
Oh,
After
Mhm.
I,
that again.
after I
or
said that,
or
right? Like
meaningful.
no,
No.
the sentence said a meaning look, right? So if I interpret that the way that just as it was written and the words that was given to it, I'm saying that I did she like what I said or did she not like what I said? All right, like what did that look mean exactly? All right, so based on that, I'm saying that might be a little confusing to me,
Yeah.
whereas the a definition will clearly dictate that look meant that she want me.
Ali,
Right.
there's another definition in the Webster Dictionary, and I'll give you an example, kind of like on the same context of what you stated, but the line states, or the statement says, the people have a right to know what the president's meaning is in getting the nation involved in this war, which would, as Jazz went over the, synonyms, similar words, I guess, purpose, like meaning, could be replaced with the word purpose, which,
Hmm.
yeah, what did you mean by that? Or what was your intent, or what was your purpose? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Same word, universal. It's the universal definition, like somebody's meaning. What was your, what'd you mean by that? Or, what was your purpose by that, or intent? You know what I mean? Same thing. But it's definitely, by her highlighting those different examples, definitely put some emphasis on where other words that mean the same thing as meaning come into play. Same thing you're saying, Ali. Same exact thing.
Nah, definitely. Like, what was you just on just now, guy? Like it said, vivid. Like when I see stuff like that, I see vivid, graphic. Like even pregnant don't necessarily define a specific thing. Like vivid
Right?
Yeah, that one kind of confused me. I'm not gonna lie.
and even graphic, like and pregnant is like it's like three trimesters of that, right? Like and
Right.
I don't know, right? Like so it's tricky, right? So it could mean the same thing. But nah,
Depending on how we use it.
see, I don't know, right? Because if you go back to the definition of meaning as the noun, they started talking about how it was based on different languages. So when I think about that, I'm like, how we use words might be different. Like whereas, but a definition like water is gonna be wet in every language, right? Like
Right,
Right.
right,
maybe not in the language, the word itself gonna be wet, but it's gonna mean wet. It's gonna be wet. Agua is still water, like it still mean the same,
Universal.
the universal
Universal.
thing,
Right.
right? But how they make their Kool-Aid might be different, right? So that might be, it's just different,
Yeah, I mean, the
right?
first thing
It,
that pops up to me on that meaning word is intent. Like when I hear somebody, say meaning, I'm like, and it's in a sentence. The first thing that pops in my brain is, what's your intent? You know what I mean? But I don't know. Maybe, like I said, that was, maybe you
I
guys can give an
I
example
agree.
of what it means. Like if
What
when I
what you aiming
hear
for?
somebody say the word meaning, yeah, like what's your intent? You know what I mean? I mean, if you want to get technical, okay, what's your purpose? We can get. I mean, like there's some other words but yeah, my first thing I think when I hear meaning is intent or
Yeah.
intention.
And look at that, right? Because it says something meant or intended aim, and the sentence says a mischievous meaning was apparent. A
yeah. I
mischievous.
think both of those, they all go with each other because they're all. I mean, when you think of the definition, like obviously meaning, intent, purport, or purport, which is like the purpose.
Right.
I'm guessing, or what it is, what it means.
See,
You know.
yeah, that number two right there means that that they're not the same thing, right? Because a mischievous meaning was apparent. That means somebody could. That to me, that sounds like somebody saying something sarcastic or slick,
Right.
right? You know,
Very much so.
that's what I get from that anyway. What you got?
Mhm.
Well, I'm going back to the question. Um, can the meaning pardon me, can the meaning of something and the definition be different? Definitely. Based on what I've been learning so far here tonight, especially just looking at this right now, with something meant or intended, the thing that one intends to convey, the thing that is conveyed is, and then when I see an implication of a hidden or special significance, most of the time when people, like how we use it mostly, it's almost like it's almost used in that same context, the meaning of it. Everybody's aiming to say, what I meant to say was, or what I mean is, or what I had really meant to say, or what I should have, or I'm meaning to get this done. I've been meaning to do it, but I ain't, you haven't done shit yet. You know what I'm saying? So, and when I look at, if we define something in relation to the question, like it is that thing.
Correct.
It is not intended. It is that thing. It is it's finite. It is that. If I use that correctly.
Yeah, no matter what, right?
Yeah. So, I definitely think that we use things. I think that the majority of people operate in a meaningful manner. Like meaning to do something or meaning to have it a certain way. However, that's not always what it turns out to be, and the definitive thing is what it actually is. So, I'm going to say they're two different things. They're two different things, but they can be. I think people do, where we ask, is it bad, good, or misunderstood? I think that's one of them things where part of the reason meaning is misunderstood, because a lot of the meanings of things, the way it's used, is more related to emotions and feelings versus it
Right.
being something defined, permanent.
Exactly.
I think like we lazy communicators, God, right? Like we don't take enough time to be considerate, and as the one speaking, consider the listener, right? Are they on the same wavelength I'm on? Are they even thinking about the same thing I'm on? Are they understanding everything that I'm talking about, or did I just start talking mid sentence because I was thinking something, right? Like it's not enough consideration going around on both sides. Everybody just that's why it's easily misunderstood, because that's why we always got to say, what I meant was, you know what I mean, right? Like you say all those things because you wasn't clear.
Right, because
Either
people are confused. Right.
either you wasn't clear, or the person you talking to is hard headed. You knew that and you didn't take your time. See, it still come back to you, right? Because you talking to
Wow. I mean, I was gonna say, dang.
it still come back to you.
I get what you're saying, but I would say like they might not understand, just not necessarily be hard headed. That in this, my opinion, in certain situations, they might not just understand what you're trying to ask them or what you're saying, or it might have, gone over their head, or they need you to explain it in a different way. Depending on whatever you guys are talking about or whatever the topic is, you know.
Yeah, same. Yeah, we're the same mind right there.
Absolutely, but one thing is, it's not defined.
Not defined.
It's not defined, so it's definitely, it may come across
Right.
with the same meaning, but
But it isn't.
it isn't. It isn't the same thing at the end. Something still needs to be done. Some work still needs to be done. Versus, and it appears that meanings, something still needs to be done. There's work. It's a place that you have to get to,
You
and
ain't get there. You ain't get there yet.
right, and when you get there, it's defined.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we
Oh, yeah.
answered our first question, and we're gonna go ahead and move on to the second question of the evening. So we got, is the meaning of a word based on facts or feelings or both? Okay. And we'll see words used where people use words and we'll apply a meaning to it. Like something simple, what I was talking about, like nigga. Like what's up, my
Oh,
nigga?
hold on.
You know?
Depending on how you use it, depending on who's saying it, it can mean something different.
Right.
If you
So
use the
yeah,
A or the hard R.
But I mean, does
I
it
don't. I don't even know if it matters, right? Because
It matters, Ali. It
nah,
matters.
it does
Yeah,
not
yeah.
matter.
I think it matters.
Not when the enemy is using the A slickly.
Yeah,
And
but I mean, we can't control who uses it and how they use it.
but that's but
But
that's but that's why it kind of don't matter, because if they use it right, and they put the A instead of the ER, talking about, well, I ain't say the ER, and they used it in a hard way, it's still negative, even though it's the same word that I'm using, right? Like it's still negative.
well,
So
I
it's
still think it's bad. But that's just
Yeah,
me.
hey Jazz, let me ask you something. If I
Yeah, what's up?
say, if I say I'm gonna punch you in the face, nigga, do it matter whether I put a hard ER on it?
Well, you're my brother,
No, no,
and
no, 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 no,
you
no,
mean
no.
just any person? You
We're
mean
not
just in
person.
general?
We're not person. We're personalizing the question. We ain't talking about our relationship.
Mhm.
Okay. Like
Yeah.
remember we on the show, right? I'm
Okay.
asking you,
Yeah.
does it matter if a person says I'm gonna punch you in the face, nigga? And if they put the NIGGA or the NIGGER, does it matter? What's more important? You
No,
about to
not
get
not
punched in the
really.
face or how they said it?
It depends on how they said it, like the context. Yeah.
That's
It
crazy,
depends. It
Jazz.
depends
You
on
might
how
get
it depends
punched
on how
in the
close they saying
face.
it to me
Stop
when they
that.
say
so,
Stop.
well, Ali, it depends on how close they say it. With Jazz, it depends on how they say it. Whether they put
Yeah,
the
like
hard
yeah.
ER, you still ain't gonna worry about getting stolen. What about
it.
you, Jess? What you, how you
I mean, okay, that part is
doing?
kind of like important too. Yeah.
No, that's the first part.
Man, that's
That is, yeah, that's kind of a priority actually. Hold
Yeah.
on, what you gonna do? What?
so yeah, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna edit. But but yeah, so what you say, Jess? Do it matter? Don't matter if it's a hard ER or A, or is it just all
I mean, what if it's the same? Yeah, I mean, I mean, what if it's the same demographic? You know what I mean? It's still the same.
but that's not
What if
but
it's the
that's
same?
what I'm
You know what I
talking
mean? If
about. That's what I'm talking about. It don't matter.
it's
Like
still,
somebody saying they're gonna do you
whether
some
it's an A or E, right? If
Oh,
it's an A or
I
ER,
see. No matter the person saying it to you. I get it.
oh that you ain't I thought you knew that. I thought you knew it didn't
right?
matter. It's just somebody saying it, you know?
In general, right?
Yeah, it's just somebody saying it in general. And that's where I'm talking about where you know that these words that we use, the meaning of it, you know. So we could say that that ain't based on
Feeling.
no facts, right? That example, that ain't based on no facts.
No.
You know, the only fact is they threatening you saying they about to punch you in the face, right?
Correct.
But
And that's not real until they cross a certain line or they hit you.
right, absolutely not. So Please don't get punched in the face, Jazz. I don't care how nobody says it to you.
No, I'm not trying to get.
at
No,
least walk away.
definitely not trying to get punched in the face
I don't
at
care
all.
if it's a midget, if it's a well, not midget. Is that I don't even know if that's
Little person,
there you go. Like I don't care if it's a little person. If they say and what complexion they are, don't
they're
sleep.
gonna punch you in the face, right?
Don't sleep
Nope.
because you might get slapped for real. It's not a good feeling. So what we got, fam? Based on the definition, is the meaning? Does anybody, based on that example, is there any other words that we feel as though get used like that? Where
That was a great example. That was a great example. I'm trying to think of other words.
Nah, I think it's both, right? Like it's
That's a good one.
because feelings and facts, because how they say it matters. Who's saying it, what they saying, all those things, how close they are when they saying it.
I mean something like it's lit, right? Something basic. It's lit.
Could
Is it on fire? It's not really on fire.
Right? Are there flames? Like
So it's not based on fact.
right.
But it's based on now we gave it a new context. So that's a new that's a new feeling.
Right. That's like the new cool word. Yeah.
With it being lit, like, oh, it's a good time. Like it's lit, right?
Yeah.
So that's a feeling, that's an emotion. That's not, you know, to describe how you feel about an environment. But
right, or a football game or something, yeah.
Right.
Now we could go into a deeper level of physics to say that yeah, it is on fire, right? but
the roof is on fire.
Right, but physically on fire, like it's not what we what we define as to light, right? That if we look at something is lit
different.
Up. So you know. Oh no, I ain't mean to come. Y'all did say that I ain't mean to come with the questions that was so like
nah, like the
no, I like it. I like it because critical thinking, like it's cool, you know. It's good.
You know, but our second question is the meaning of a word based on facts, feelings, or both.
Both.
You know.
I would say it depends on the word. I mean, obviously, but yeah, it depends on the word.
You know,
in terms of
like
meaning,
it's hot, like it's hot is something simple. Like it's hot. The meaning of that word and the feeling of it is the you know they relative.
Right.
That's a both word.
Yeah, because it's like, what are you talking about? Are you talking about something on the stove, or are you talking about like her dress is hot? Like,
I mean, that's in context, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's where you could say both.
Yeah, and that's why I say both, because like it's all context, and if that's the case, then they gotta be like, you gotta, like, that's why I say consideration is important, right? You gotta be like, who you talking to? Are they paying attention? Do they get it? Did she think you talk about her dress, or you think she's talking about, you know, does she understand you talking about her in the dress?
You know, maybe I'm just saying it in my mind because
keeping it to yourself,
because we don't want to offend anyone, you know. So you can't even got to be careful with a compliment nowadays. Some days, some places.
At work, definitely. That joint all come with like, y'all, is that okay? And it's like, yeah, you got to get permission to even say something is nice. Hey, I noticed you got a new haircut. Is that okay? I like it.
New haircut.
Nah, like, I don't want to notice nothing about you at work. I don't care how you smell. I don't want to know your cologne, even if it smells good. I don't want to ask you.
You know, like,
hey, bro, will you buy that cologne?
crazy, bro.
Right? Like, dog, you ain't see this, dog? Like, what you mean? I'm just trying to get my, trying to get my smell goods.
That's it.
Next
All
thing
right.
you know, you got a case.
So,
Exactly. That you really got to defend for real.
too
Right.
much.
So yeah, y'all. So far we've answered 2 questions this evening. Our first question was, can the meaning of something and the definition of it be different? Panel gave some great insight on that. Our second question this evening was, is the meaning of a word based on facts, feelings, or both? And we went over, a couple words. We didn't dig too deep into it, but we're about to go ahead and transition into our third question. So, you know what that means. We're going to take a quick little 1-minute break, and we're going to come back with just entertainment and the flavor bombs. So, 60 seconds, and we'll be right back. When you look good, you feel good. So let's get back to school with DBCHEFTV merch. August 1st through November 1st. Shop until you drop from our huge selection of apparel and accessories. Use code and enjoy 10% off our entire site at checkout. Visit www.dbcheftv.com. Hit the shopping link while supplies last and get back to school with DBCHEFTV merch.
This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016, 160 self-sustainability. Jump on a list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, support your interests, and live.
Ain't nobody bringing more flavor than just entertainment with the flavor bomb. Now that's the flavor.
Just what you got for us?
So Justin Timberlake pleads guilty to a lesser charge after a Long Island DWI. I don't know if you guys were watching any of the news this week. He came out and did actually a press release. Basically, he spoke out after taking a plea deal for a DWI on Long Island. Appeared on court the Friday before last. Basically, they gave him a charge I've never even heard of before called driving while ability impaired, DWA.
Yeah, I saw that too. Mm-hmm.
The plea deal included a $500 fine with a $260 surcharge, as well as 25 hours of community service at any nonprofit of his choosing. He has a year to complete the community service. The deal also required Justin Timberlake to make a public safety announcement, which is probably why he did that earlier this week, which he did immediately after his appearance in court. I guess the judge wasn't initially happy with the terms of the plea deal, calling the penalties minimal, and asked Timberlake if he also accept 25 hours of nonprofit community service, which he agreed to. So there were obviously a lot of camera crews surrounding him at this press release or this public service announcement he had to make. And basically he just said, hey, many of you have probably been covering me for a lot of my life. And as you may know, I tried to hold myself to a very high standard. And this was not that. And he said he found himself in a position where he could have made a different decision. And he gave some examples of, taxi, Lyft, call a friend, Uber, things of that nature. Secondly, some news in the headline. Obviously, everybody knows that Puff Daddy was arrested. He was arrested, charged with sex trafficking and ordered and held without bail. Apparently, he did try to attempt to get bailed out twice, and they denied it. It was an order held without bail this Tuesday after he was charged with the sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs pled not guilty to the charges in federal court in New York City. A magistrate a judge there ordered Combs held after hearing from prosecutors and Combs' legal team late Tuesday. His attorney appealed the decision this Wednesday in law, so prosecutors sought detention for Combs, arguing that he poses an ongoing significant danger to the community and has repeatedly engaged in obstructive conduct and presents a serious risk of flight, while his lawyers asked that he be released on bond. And then thirdly, Donald Trump. So Donald Trump is not planning to run after this election in 2028. Basically stated that this would probably be his last time. He doesn't have any plans if he loses this year, but he sat down with an interview on a show called Full Measure, and where I guess the host had asked him point blank if he sees himself running in the future, and he just said this is the last dance. I don't think that will be it. I don't see that at all. Hopefully, we're going to be successful. Basically, he's looking optimistic for this election in November. But that's what I have for the flavor bombs tonight. Those three things.
Man, that's dope. So what we gonna start with? Justin Timberlake. What you got, Jazz? Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, Justin. I saw that weird charge. What was it? Unable to
driving while ability impaired. Never heard of it.
Yeah, I've never heard of that in my life. That's got to be some celebrity charge they just, created just for him. I've never heard of that. But I mean, I am glad to see that he's taking responsibility and pleading guilty, because before it was like not guilty. I'm not doing this. I didn't do it. It was kind of like he was ashamed and whatnot. But he's a big pop star, and it's good that he's taking responsibility for it. Going to do his community service, pay that little fine, which to him, that amount of money probably isn't too much. So. Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
God, what you think about it?
so I ain't about that. Oh, so hold on, hey Jazz, you saying that?
Yeah.
Did you just say that before he took the plea deal recently, he was denying this?
I mean, maybe I'm being a little bit dramatic in saying denying completely, but I think prior to his guilty plea, he was like more on the the side of caution with, not guilty.
That's crazy. So I don't understand. So I definitely don't know what the DWAI is as far as charges go, right? Like it'd suck if it's a celebrity charge for real. Like that shouldn't.
But like basically he's driving drunk or impaired, which that could be, he could have killed somebody or himself. I mean, we don't know. I mean, I'm not sure the amount of alcohol or what have you he had in his system, but impaired is impaired. Obviously it was enough for them to arrest him and do this whole thing, I guess.
So I don't know, right? Because it's different. You got a DWI and then you got a DWAI, so maybe I don't know, might be a limit or a cutoff point. Like, I don't get it.
I mean, DUI, DWI, I think they hold some jail time too, though. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. I think that the DUI, DWI, I think those are like life
serious,
changing, career ending things almost, right? Like.
But holds jail time, like 30 days in jail. You know what I mean? That's what I gathered from it. He evaded jail time. You know what I mean?
By doing the public service announcement?
Well, yeah, with the lesser charge, I think he evaded 30 days in jail. I mean, that's pretty standard for DUIs and DWIs. You know what I mean? And you lose your license for a certain amount of time as well. So there's a whole bunch.
That sounds crazy to me to have a lesser charge, right? Like either was driving.
Exactly, but he's a celebrity.
I don't
understand. No, it doesn't make sense. If it was a regular person.
With D, can I go now? You don't understand what DWAI stands for? Driving right and influential.
Stop it. Oh my God. I love you.
I ain't want to go
Oh
there.
my
God.
God. Put that on a
Oh
t-shirt,
man, but
bro.
hey, but
Influence. He got
what
a
did Marshawn
$5
Lynch get when they
fine.
found him?
I don't know, bro.
I wonder what Marshawn Lynch got
I
in
don't
Las
remember
Vegas when
that.
he ate up
But
oh yeah, he ate up a Shelby GT wheel, and he wasn't even driving. They just found he ate that wheel down to the wheel, the tire, the wheel.
What you
Then when
mean
they
he wasn't
pulled
driving?
Marshawn Lynch out, Las Vegas, he got I don't know what he got charged with. He probably bought Las Vegas some new cop uniforms.
but this ain't
So
about Marshawn. This is about Justin Timberlake.
JT.
Okay, he is the
I
top
know,
of the
I know.
competition,
He
and
was a
Justin
Backstreet Boy, right?
Timberlake done danced his ass
Yo,
out of
insane.
something that I know plenty of people that went to jail for. You know what I'm saying? For real.
A lesser
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
charge. That's crazy.
For real. Like I
like I
know people that,
said,
I mean, even though they was habitual offenders and they probably, did bring it on themselves, you know.
Right.
I think like this is just it's just his is being publicized because who it is Justin Timberlake.
Correct.
You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
he's a,
And I
he's a
think
high profile.
preferential treatment is given like that for people in that position. I would even go as far as to say that if I probably had his type of status, that I probably could have get away with something like that. Like what he didn't have was he
Right.
didn't have like a Dr. Dre, like where he took the police on a chase.
What?
Right.
What?
That was Dr. Dre when he was back in the day, just be
Before the
turning up.
million?
when he was with the chronic Dr. Dre.
That's crazy.
So yeah, he was
Right.
life. So I mean, I think if
Wow.
I think if you have money like that, man, and you're gonna have access to good attorneys,
Mm-hmm.
See,
and
that's probably why he don't need to be humble, right? Because he got the economic power to don't have to be humble, right? He just get the charges reduced to something less than the
Exactly. Something we
DWI.
never heard of. Some sort of charge we never heard of.
We're just gonna add some letters in there. Talk about
my insurance ain't going up.
Right?
Yeah.
it must be nice.
So we got who you said just Diddy was the next thing, right? What you got on Diddy, Jazz?
Okay, so I was kind of waiting for us to talk about him. This whole thing is just, I go on Instagram, I go on TikTok, all these kind of stories, like
Memes.
backstories about it. Like Kim Porter, his ex-wife, God rest her soul, wrote a memoir, or this is what I'm hearing, these type of things, and a tell-all book is coming soon, or did his sons know what was happening, or it just, I'm not speechless, but it's a lot. Like, I don't know, it's crazy, but it's kind of like, you see videos and stuff. Like there was an interview with him and Mike Tyson on a talk show back in the day, and I remember Diddy, he put his hand on Tyson's thigh, and Tyson very politely removed it, and
So what that mean?
that was, it's kind of like, why you a grown ass man putting your hand on another grown ass man, Mike Tyson's thigh, on live TV on a talk show? Like, what is that about? Like, you're trying to tell him that
he said,
you're
get off me.
what?
He's talking like
I
Mike.
think he said, I think he said, get off me. He said,
Oh, you're doing your Mike
"Get your hand
Tyson
off
voice,
me," or something
right?
like that.
Exactly. Don't let the voice fool you. I'll
Uh,
kick your ass. That's what
Right.
Mike's saying.
So with the back in the day, like that was back in the day though. But like now, what you think now as far as are you praying
I
for
think it.
Diddy, or
Oh,
is it
I'm
burn his ass
I'm
by
more so
mistake?
praying for the kids, and I mean I'm praying for him too, and because I mean clearly if all that stuff is really going on, he has some problems, some issues that he needs to work on within himself, and I'm not one to judge, if he's going through whatever and making him do these things or what have you. Uh, he needs some saving. He needs some God in his life. He needs an intervention, something. So yeah, I'm praying for him, and his kids, because that's got to be tough. to go through. It's crazy.
No doubt, no doubt. What you got, God?
Man, I'm praying for us, right? Like I don't like hypocrites for real, right? Like as many people that attended these parties, as
Mm-hmm.
many as many people that wanted to go to these parties, right? Like these parties was like non-entertainers was at these parties, like wealthy non-entertaining white people, like people of influence and that know money's mother be at these parties, right? And everybody is okay when everybody's having fun, but as soon as somebody starts to bleed, everybody want to talk about not it. And I'm saying y'all was all there. Y'all all wanted to
Mm-hmm.
go to the party. Like I don't like this is my thing, right? Like so because we specifically are talking about sex trafficking, right? Not him putting his hand on Mike Tyson's thigh, like not him being a homosexual potentially or not potentially, right? We are talking about violent
Right.
crimes, and nobody is taking those violent crimes seriously, from what I'm seeing by the memes and by all the jokes and the conversations that people want to have, right,
Right.
about it, and they want to throw in. It's kind of like I feel about the whole R. Kelly thing, right? Like here it is. He got arrested, went to court, beat the case, living his life. Somebody do a movie, and then because they did a movie, he get locked up forever.
Oh yeah,
Right.
that's right. Mm-hmm.
I, I don't know if that's necessarily how it went for real, but that's what I saw.
What movie? What
Shut up,
movie?
Ollie.
I thought it was,
So,
it was the
surviving
Gail.
R. Kelly, surviving R.
Right,
Kelly.
surviving. I watched that
But
whole
that's what.
documentary.
What was that?
Every single, all three
Gail
parts of
King?
it. It was deep.
Was that the
It was
interview?
deep.
Or
But
that was no? Gail King did the interview
that
separate.
was.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Gail
that's a
King did the
separate thing.
interview.
That's a separate thing.
When he was like, "What y'all doing this to me?"
Yeah, that was after the surviving R. Kelly documentary
But
or
that's
whatever.
Yeah.
that's what happens when Lifetime gets a hold. Don't let Lifetime get a hold of you.
Yeah,
Do
but
a movie
that's
about
like
you.
I don't like that though, right? Because like why was that not double jeopardy,
I know they ran out of
Oh,
paychecks. That's why they did that show. They
right? Like
ran out of money.
like
He wouldn't get no.
he already got arrested for it. He already went
Right.
to court for it, right? And they went and
Yeah.
found stuff that was next to it, so we can charge him for the same thing again differently. And that's anti what our system is, right? Like I ain't join the military and fight for our rights for us to abuse them and be hypocritical. We want to be good natured when it's comfortable, and I don't like it, right? If we going I'm from Brooklyn, right? Like if you're gonna do something, do it. Like don't tiptoe, don't hide,
Right.
right? If you're gonna rob somebody, rob them, right? Like and you don't cry when you get caught. Like if you either gonna run from the police, you're gonna bang it out, right? Like don't cry about it, right? I don't like that. Like don't do it. So that whole Diddy thing, like everybody talking about the oil and all this other stuff, and I'm like, none of that's important, right? Like
right.
even that whole Cassie video, right? Like I'm like for us to see that
I
so
was
long.
disturbed. That's horrible.
Nah, like let me finish, right? Because I'm saying like that was disturbing for me on a whole bunch of levels. Because I'm saying, how long did that hotel have that footage before they said anything or did anything about it, right? Like I'm saying, y'all accomplices too,
Right.
right? I'm saying that
Mm-hmm.
like as a viewing citizen, I'm saying I should have a right to sue that hotel for allowing such behavior to go on and on its premises, all because they're getting paid,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
right? And yeah, you could say, well, how was they supposed to know? It was in the hallway, right? Yeah, you might not be able to see stuff behind closed doors, but stuff in the hallway. I'm saying everybody that's coming out right now talk about, yo, did he touch me? Back then, you should get punched in your face, right? Like everybody that got a story that of what happened back then, now that You know,
Right.
he's far away and can't be touched and can't validate or go against your story. I don't like that, right? Like you should get punched in your face for that, right? If you ain't say nothing, then shut up, right? I mean, like I get it. Victims have the right to hold on to their pain and work through their trauma, and it might take a long time for them to get the courage to boss up. I ain't knocking that. I'm saying if you a sucker, right, that waited for somebody else to boss up and do the quote unquote right thing, and now you not going to the authorities to add charges, you going to get an interview so you can get paid. I'm saying I can't say that. You should get punched in your face.
So you probably feel the same way about the Bill Cosby stuff, then.
I feel that way about everything, right? Like it's like especially Bill Cosby, like that was ridiculous. Like you can't that whole time period, everybody was doing drugs, right? Like if you left your house to go somewhere, the place you was going to, you was going there to do drugs, right? Because it was hip. Like you stayed home to be square, and you left home to be hip, right? That was the
Right.
term. That was the terminology. That was the vibe. So to go to to go to the Playboy Mansion, right, and expect it to not be drugs and alcohol at the Playboy Mansion is ridiculous to me.
Mhm.
Right.
For somebody to say that Bill
Right.
Cosby molested rape whatever he did to a 13-year-old girl at the Playboy Mansion, and we talking about he a monster. I'm saying, why is a 13-year-old girl at a Playboy
At the
Mansion?
Playboy Mansion.
Yeah.
First
Agreed.
question, who dropped her off, right? Who left her there, right? How come it's not the owner of the house fault for this going down, right? Because if somebody fell on my property, right, I get sued as the homeowner. So
Yeah.
a whole sexual assault can go down, and we're gonna bypass Hugh Hefner because he hef and
Right.
and,
Mm.
and go get this nigga because he wanted to buy NBC. That's what we saying. Like, man, get out of here with that. Like, I don't like suckers. I don't like sucker shit, right? Like if it like no tiptoeing through the tulips, right? Like I think everybody that got a story, I think they lying. I think everybody that want to hear these people's stories, I think y'all suckers, right? And you shouldn't entertain foolishness, right? I think if you do, you deserve everything that you get. Like I don't like it.
Real talk.
Donald Trump. What you got, Jazz? Donald Trump.
About the Donald Trump news.
Yeah.
Not much. I don't really care for him. I mean,
How do you feel about what Just Entertainment said when they said that he may not run again? If he
finally,
and even if he loses,
damn, it's about time, nigga.
okay.
Yes, I'm saying nigga in that context
Oh,
because I
but
mean,
he can't be offended though. He shouldn't be
I
offended,
know, I know, I
right?
know.
Okay.
That's right.
See,
Um, finally, like, sit down somewhere. Like, I just feel like these past years that he's been president, 2020, and then now he's running, and it's just all the hoopla and the controversy and the just let someone that really can run the country try to run the country. Like, please.
for sure. Okay,
That's
Ali.
how I feel.
Yo, I think it's laughable, son. Like like you had people that was really thinking that this dude was gonna become president, turn himself into the emperor, and then be our leader for the rest of his life, right? And
Right?
he
Exactly.
like you had people like really thinking this, like so. I'm like, he already was the president once. Is he saying he gonna lose this time and he not gonna come run like that? What did he mean by that? Right? Other than he won't extend a third term, right? For all the people that think that he got the power that he can just do whatever the hell he want to do, right?
Right.
Like I think it's all laughable. Like it's funny to me.
Yeah. I just think you were saying it based on if he for some reason lost, he ain't trying again. You know what I mean?
Except
He's
for
just
some
saying if he
reason.
lost, he wouldn't. Yeah. If some reason he lost, I mean, it could go either way. You know what I mean? I hate to be controversial, but it could go either way. I'm sure everybody watched, the last debate, and I know he really doesn't want to do the next one that they have to do. But yeah, it was pretty horrific to say the least. I mean, anybody can sit up on on television with some type of device in their ear and get prompted or rehearse what they need to say. But yeah, I didn't know that either. You can have something in your ear and somebody can be telling you exactly what you need to say.
What are you talking about?
So just who? Hey, I'm just talking about people having stuff. I ain't saying who. I'm just saying people having stuff
I have
in
no
their
idea
ear.
what you're talking about.
People having an earpiece in and being prompted what to say. But anytime they do another interview, they don't know what to say. You know what I'm saying? So I'll just leave it at that. I'm just saying anybody can get prepped to speak. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I know Donald Trump's one of those people. He just speaks. There is no prepping, but I think he did good on this last debate that he didn't really go off like he normally does. So that's just my take on it. But anybody can get prepped to speak on a public platform.
Man, well, Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, may the best candidate win.
Right.
I held my questions, God. I held my questions.
May the best candidate win.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Who knows what it's gonna be? It's gonna be what it is gonna be. I did want to say that I thought, anybody correct me on the panel, y'all. Like I thought that you can only do 2 terms as president.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so, that's what I thought too.
Like legislatively, you can only do 2 terms.
Yeah.
So,
but people were saying though that if he become president again, he's gonna make it so that he can do 3 terms. And they was using New York governor, not a mayor, what's his name?
Giuliani?
No, it wasn't Giuliani. I think it was
Cuomo.
I think it was Bloomberg that gave himself another term or something like that.
Oh
yeah, Cuomo.
Right.
The governor.
Right. And it was the governor. No, I think Bloomberg was the mayor.
Okay.
Mayor Bloomberg.
After Giuliani?
Yeah.
Bill Bloomberg.
And he gave himself another term because he didn't think that it was ready for him the city was prepared for him to leave yet.
And he said they're not ready. They still want me. I'm staying.
My thing for that, man, is like you just can't stay at work if they don't like.
Right, if it's your time, like.
I know it don't work like that in the military, in the uniformed services.
like soon as your day is over, like your badge don't work no more. You just can't get back into the building.
Right.
Right.
Easy fix.
I don't think, you know what, I was gonna retire and I've stayed past, normal retirement. So you know what, I think I need to just need a few more years to make sure y'all got this shit together.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
But yeah, that's why I think he said it, because people was talking about that whole extended period of time crap. Because I don't see Donald Trump as the type of person to think that he's gonna lose or to say out loud that he thinks he's gonna lose this time. I don't see that in him.
Right.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Because he does have a certain level of arrogance.
Yeah, that's why I said he's not gonna quit, because that's why I don't think the shootings at him are intended to really. I don't think they want him dead. I think they want him to quit. I think if he cowered out and was like, okay, I'll quit because y'all gonna try and kill, not saying that these aren't some lunatic events, but if it is conspiratorial and a plot by the other side, the ops or whatever type shit.
That's not the ops.
If it is all that, then I don't think they want him gone. I just think they want him gone out the race.
Right.
Out the competition. But
right.
Like you just said, Jess, I think his ego, I think his arrogance
is way too big.
Yeah, his pride, and and
even if he thought it, I don't think he would say it.
No, he wouldn't say it. I don't think he would say it out loud either.
You don't think he would do it?
Yeah, I don't think he would do it.
I mean, again,
because if all the attempts are real,
like you said, you go either way.
Yeah, like if it's not some scripted stuff, then guess what? Like now he just like walk around with his chest out, like whatever happened. Like he all in. You know, and what that means is
He's doing
what people should see. Like I'm
teapot.
nope, I'm not giving them a big shout out. But we have to realize that that person is exemplifying that they're willing to die to do this job.
That's crazy.
If those shooters are real,
So
bro,
if
like
they're real,
like that's kind of is what it means. Like that's what I'm
Right.
saying, right? Like if they'd have took him out, like they would have made Trump like so much more than he is or what people might think he
Right,
is.
a businessman running for president.
Nah, he'd
Yeah.
have been like a emperor in people's mind for real, right? He'd have been like the greatest. Right? It'd have made him into a martyr.
Mhm.
Right? 'Cause
you
you take
know,
a president out, that's what happens to him.
so being able to
But what you said sounds rational, Pearl. So what you
yeah,
just said sounds rational.
yeah,
You know
we
what I
try to
Yeah.
use that. We try to think
I
like
mean-
that around here. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean,
yeah.
he willing to die for it. That's what it's.
Yeah.
That's what it is
It looked like that.
exemplifying. If that's what's going on, and to me,
Correct.
when you looking at like I was talking about last show, you know, soapboxish, you know, people who willing to die for stuff have more conviction, you know, because they'll risk their own life. So even when we look at the dynamics of things not going on that we say in the Black community, ain't nobody willing to risk their life for it. So
Correct.
that's why it ain't a following for certain things, you know. And this guy is showing he willing to he kind of putting his money where his mouth at, so that ego is matching the energy that he's receiving with people taking shots at him, literally.
Right,
You know?
literally.
2 times.
Right. So I mean,
Yeah.
I can't, and to me, I can't imagine somebody but want some shit so bad, that bad, to fuck it up. So that's where the logic if that stuff is real,
If it's real.
I can't imagine that you would want something so bad just to go fuck it up.
Agreed.
So
I agree.
I don't
like-
see that.
I like the
don't see that
perspective.
with the girl.
I
don't see that with the girl. I do see a lot of I do see that. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying she's not qualified, because I don't know what it takes to be qualified to be the president. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the application says.
I know you gotta be at least 35. I know that.
But I'm just
That's
like,
it. Damn.
based on soapbox narratives, and then looking at if you willing, and I'm not saying that, you know, somebody need to try to take shots at her to make a believer.
No,
you know what I mean?
crazy.
Like, all that shit needs to stop. Like, the circus has gone way too fucking Barnum and Bailey nowadays. Okay, if y'all know who Barnum and Bailey was. They circus, you know.
Yeah.
But shout out to them.
Yeah.
I wonder if they still
Old
do
school. Old school.
that. But yeah,
Yo,
man.
hey, Pearl, can I jump in real quick and just say the requirements for president? I just looked it up.
Okay, yeah.
It's be a natural born citizen of the United States, be at least 35 years old, have been a resident of the United States for at least 14 years. That's it.
That's it.
And this is on USA.gov/requirements TAC 4, TAC presidential, TAC candidates.
Oh wow! So that's the app. You can put in the app right there on US.gov. USAjobs.gov. Can you put in the app for president? Who you got to submit that to? The DOD, the JOD, Department of Justice, DOJ.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
You know? I ain't know. I ain't know I could just fill out an app. Man, you know, they just denied me. I put in the app. I was trying to be, I mean, I know
president,
man. And at least I say things nicer than Trump do. So
that's what I'm saying, right? Like when I write my name on a ballot, I'm like, they be like, what makes you qualified? Like, what you mean? Like I'm super qualified. Right? Like, you only need 3 things. And I got those in spades.
That's crazy.
It don't even say you got to be smart.
Shut up. Smart.
intelligence is
You
not.
don't even have to have a certain, level of education
It
or
don't even say you got to have a high school diploma to do it.
Don't even have to have a high school diploma. It's just those 3 things are the check marks.
dang.
I mean, unless
That's
y'all,
wild.
I sent y'all the link. So I mean, help me out. I might be looking at it
The
wrong.
president doesn't even need a high school diploma.
That's crazy.
Everybody should go apply.
Right?
Everybody.
We should
That's what
all go apply, see what happens.
Everybody should go
Right.
apply.
Yo, when Trump first became president, I'm like, yo, man, that's this. Everybody can apply, right? If the Mr. You got fired guy get to be president,
You
right?
got fired.
Like, no, what he said? You fired? How I go? Like he had a whole head thing.
Yeah,
Like,
you're fired from his show, The Apprentice. Yep.
right? Like, get out of here. Everybody should run for president. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, his business expertise though is what comes in handy to run a business.
that's true.
So that's one of them. It's some pluses. Everything ain't 100% on either side. But
Right.
we'll see who it is at the in November. It's coming up. It won't be long.
Hmm.
Yeah, it won't be
Yes,
long.
sir.
Wow, this almost October. Yeah, it's real soon.
Yeah. Yep. So we thank you, Justin, for Just Entertainment.
Ain't nobody bringing more flavor than just entertainment with the flavor bomb. Now that's flavor.
And y'all just got hit with them flavor bombs by Just
Hey.
Entertainment. So we look forward to what we got next week for the flavor bombs. And
Yes, sir.
hopefully we had some updates on some of them things. At least I know Diddy gonna be popping in the news a lot.
Right.
No,
You
Diddy.
already know.
And then I
Well,
mean,
he has plenty of
yeah,
plenty of memes are out there. I'll say that.
yeah, it's wild. It's wild. The whole thing's wild.
But when somebody's down, people will kick you down. Isn't that crazy? You know what I mean?
Not really. No.
Well, I'm just saying it is, and I'm just saying how. Well, here's the thing: back in the day, you didn't really have a lot of social media. You had everything on paper. You had a newspaper, magazine. Now everything can just get flooded. You know what I mean on the internet. So that's what I mean by that. Like you can get hammered on the internet instantly. Not you got to wait for the paper to get printed or
Yeah.
Right,
National
right. I see what
Enquirer
you're
or
saying.
magazine.
Definitely.
Yeah, like it's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Instantaneous.
I feel bad, but I don't. I'm just like you can instantly get hammered, and like TMZ. I mean, obviously they're like one of the go-tos for a lot of entertainment news, but it's just crazy that like as soon as something happens to some entertainer, man, they're just getting hammered on social networks, like every platform you can think of, and probably the newspaper and all those other old school media platforms as well. You know what I mean? Brick and mortar, but shoot, even newspapers are online now too. You know what I mean? I can't even tell you when's last time I think I got a newspaper is maybe Startups and Charcoal. You know what I mean?
What?
You put it in a fire, put it in a fire chimney so I can start up, blaze up some charcoal. That's about it.
Oh,
You don't even
wow.
look at it.
I know that's right. Get them coals lit.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. You already know.
Lit.
But yeah, fam. So getting back to tonight's word, y'all. Tonight we've been discussing the word meaning. Is it bad, good, or misunderstood? Intentional or suggestive? And so far, we have answered 2 of our 3 questions. Our first question was, can the meaning of something and the definition of it be different? Second was, is the meaning of a word based on facts, feelings, or both? And last but not least, this evening we will discuss why is the word meaning used as a reason for delaying of action? Why is the word meaning used as a reason for delaying of action?
I'm gonna go back to the laziness, lazy communications skills, not being considerate, not taking the time to 100% want to communicate to the person you're talking to, right? My brother called me the other day. Uh, he had an issue unlocking his steering wheel. He started driving truck for Amazon, and he called his supervisor first, right? He a brand new, like he in New York, right? So he a brand new truck driver, brand new driver. So like a simple thing like unlocking his steering wheel caught him off guard. He didn't know what to do, right? So he called the supervisor, and he was like, "Yo, how do I do this?" And instead of her saying how to do it, she was like, "What you mean?" He was like, "Nah, how do I do this real? Just tell me how to do this. Like, how do I unlock this?" And she was like, "What you mean? You ain't never did this before?" Right. So instead of just telling him how to do it, she asked him a bunch of questions and tried to go around the long way to embarrass him or not help him. Right. Tried to help him figure it out. And it's just, I think that's just lazy because he called me random out the blue. "Hey, big bro, how you do this? Did you put the key in and turn it a little bit, jiggle it?" He said, "Hold on." Came back singing.
Right.
Right. Because he was clear on his question,
Mm-hmm.
and I gave him his answer. I didn't take him around the block.
Right. Yeah, man.
I didn't care if this was his first time driving or why he don't know how to do this. Like none of that really mattered.
You weren't judging him.
And I think that's what it means in that question, right? Because you're trying to looking to judge and looking for the so what and the whys, right? Instead of trying to actually get to just do it.
Yep. Why is the word meaning used as a reason for delaying of action? Yeah. Did you ask him why? Like later on after y'all went ahead and solved the problem,
Mm.
right? Did you ask him why the supervisor didn't just go ahead and actually go into, you know, giving him the information he needed? Because it's like
Not
that didn't make sense.
he said that her tone and attitude was real sarcastic and snarky, right? It was his first day at work,
Mm.
and and he should have known that is was the attitude that he got, right? And I didn't start driving till I left New York. Right, the whole time I was there, I never had to drive, so it's not
Mm.
crazy that he ain't know that.
Right.
No.
Yeah, I got an aunt that never owned a vehicle. She been in
You
New
know
York.
what I'm saying? It's not strange.
She almost 80 years old. She's never had a vehicle, never had a
Wow.
desire to have one or anything.
For
So
what? Like, the buses are great. Trains is crazy now, but the transportation is so much. But I think that's what it is. I think people just either really don't want to help you or just lazy.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
Sound like she was unempathetic too.
yeah.
Definitely that.
Yeah, she was
100%.
definitely insensitive and
You
rude.
know what I'm saying?
She
Sounds
definitely
like.
has some. She has leadership skills in quotations. Like,
That's nice of you, Justin. Yeah, I'll be using that word so right, bro.
you know what I mean? Like, what kind of leader? But the thing is that when people supervise, they leadership and supervision goes hand in hand. I mean, anybody can supervise a minion. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, I don't, yeah, I don't get it. It's not you just telling people what to do. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But she definitely, when they
But
asked, She definitely should have lent that advice, like slowing up progress, you know?
Because we at work, right?
Mhm.
And your man
Exactly.
really,
He's trying to do his job.
he really just sitting there stuck, not delivering packages because he can't figure out how to unlock his steering
Right.
wheel.
Right.
And I think part a role of being that supervisor is probably to assist, you know, the staff. You know? like like imagine being in the military and somebody, you know, you walk up to, oh, can you show me how to do this?
Right.
Or somebody asks, is it a specific way that you want this done? You know, because it might be my way. I can go do it and get it done, but it might not be the way that you prefer it to come back to your desk. You
which
know,
I heard most of my childhood education life. Show your work, go show your work. I'm like, yeah, but the answer right there.
Right.
right?
We want to see how you got there.
I did it in my
Mhm.
head. I did it in my head though, right? Like,
Yeah,
I threw that piece of paper in the trash.
that's wild. You know, something I do. I go in the store and I round up. Like I might buy something and then I get the rest on gas, and I do it in my head, right?
mhm.
Because I try to keep my brain sharp. And people always be like, "Wow, you ain't use no calculator." And I say, I said, you know, a man invented a calculator.
Lazy ass, man.
I be like, do you know a man invented a calculator, right? So I don't know. Maybe I'm too traditional. I still want to see if I can, what they call it back, ciphering. I still want to see if I can do a little math off the top of the dome. But yeah, why is the word meaning used as a reason for delaying of action? Um, Anybody else got anything that they can correlate or any experience that they had with maybe not from them, not maybe, or you have used it yourself or somebody else with, you know, um,
What
you
was
know,
the question again?
with something that was intended to be conveyed, you know, it's meant or intended, but it didn't happen. It
Well,
didn't,
yeah, I mean, I think that happens a lot.
you
Why
know,
is the word meaning used as a reason for delaying of action?
yeah.
Which more meaning, I mean, I would align that with more of the meant. I meant to, I was meaning to, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I would correlate it with that.
Yeah.
As in past tense. I mean, yeah. Why didn't you do that? Well, I meant to, or I was meaning to, but yeah.
Right.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
lots of reasons, you know, being forgetful. Maybe you did it on purpose. You know what I mean? A lot of people probably correlate that with, you know, some direct, um, you know, impacted them. You know what I'm saying? Like it impacted them. Like, yeah, why'd you show up late? I mean, I wasn't meaning to, you know, but you know, things like being punctual. You know what I'm saying? You were supposed to pick me up. You're supposed to call me back at this time. You know, I meant to, and obviously there's an excuse or some type of explanation after it too. But I mean, we all hate to call, you know, everything that somebody does an excuse, but I mean, or there's an explanation, which probably sounds a little bit more positive than, you know, what's your excuse, you know, which that's a good word too to probably touch on one day. You know what I mean? Excuse, you know what I mean? Excuse, which has a lot of different meanings as well, but it's just, yeah.
That's next Sunday. That's what we doing. Excuses.
Uh-oh.
No
Hey,
excuses.
No
see.
excuses, right?
No excuses,
no,
only
no,
reasons.
yeah. I'm just
Yeah.
saying it's funny. If I provide you an explanation, is that the same as me providing you an excuse? You know what I'm saying? Explanation sounds better, being politically
So
correct.
I
It
got it.
sounds a little more positive.
Are you trying to be excused with that explanation?
Okay. I mean, it could be used in the same sentence with the same words. Yeah.
No, I'm saying like I think an excuse is used to get out of something, right? You want to be excused from guilt,
Right,
excused
exactly.
from punishment. An explanation would be you just explaining what it is, right?
But
That's like
Explaining your
is it a
excuse.
label though?
no,
Well,
like
I
just
know, but I mean, are you labeling it that way? It's how you, the receiver, sees it. You know what I'm
no. I'm
saying? That's
saying no.
how I
What I'm
think.
saying is like explaining doesn't isn't necessarily trying to get out of punishment or trying to absolve yourself from guilt,
But an
right?
excuse is not going to get you out of anything either. It's just a label. You know what I
But the
mean?
word is
Like,
but the word itself sounds like is excused, right? You're trying to be
You're
excused from
like
something.
delaying something, delaying the inevitable. It's just an excuse.
So you said that's the next week word, excuse?
excuse.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's probably a lot of definitions for it, but I
I'm
know
liking it so far.
based off face value that excuse would be like you're trying to get out of something. But to me, I think excuse sounds like gives negative connotation to somebody. Uh, you're already saying they're guilty before they even give you an explanation or excuse. I mean, like I said, usually what's your excuse is used in a negative sentence. Like, what's your excuse? And the emphasis that somebody puts on it. Or they could say, hey, what's your explanation? But explanation sounds a little bit more courteous than excuse, because excuse just means that you're saying somebody's did something on purpose and they didn't even get you didn't get the whole story or whatever it is. To me, I get what you're saying though. Face value, somebody's like, what's your excuse? And then you're like, and then you're
Nah, bro.
providing
Like
them,
I'm I'm very familiar with the word excuse, and reason, and like
right.
I've played with these words in my childhood, in my youth, because I used to like to debate a lot, right? And I used to
Right.
like,
Mm.
and in my growing up, I used to try to like, and they different words, right? Like one, you're actually trying to get out of being blamed from something, and the other, you don't mind necessarily taking the punishment, but you just want to explain what you just want to say what it is, right? Like they're two different things. I think we use them wrong, right? I think, but we'll just explain that next week, I guess.
Yeah, we'll have to break that definition down, because I think there's probably a lot of
I think
definitions
that's one
for
of
it.
the questions: is excuse and reason the same thing? Hey,
But see,
Hey,
Yeah.
look at you brainstorming.
but that's why I think the word meaning is used as a reason for delay in action, right? So
mhm,
meaning intended,
I agree.
whether it's an excuse or explanation, something didn't happen.
Kind of don't matter.
Something didn't happen. It was meant or intended. What was the meaning? You know, something didn't happen. And it's a thing that one intends to convey, especially by language, right? That's what they tell you that it is. So that's what we talking about, the action of it, significant or meaningful, even meaning that as an adjective, conveying or intended to convey a meaning.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So, I mean, your excuse is attempting to convey or a meaning. It's intended to do something meant or intended. You're aiming to do what? You're aiming to, as an excuse, if it does mean you're not looking to be blamed, you're aiming to not be blamed. If it's the explanation, then, and to give an explanation, you're not concerned. A person is not concerned about blame, about penalty,
No
or
penalty.
or reward.
Correct.
Then that's the aim, right? So that's the meaning. That's the intent of it. So definitely, when we look at this question, why is the word meaning used as a reason for delaying of action? We seeing right now that in both cases, abuse or excuse. I mean, was it excuse
Excuse and explanation.
or explanation? They both are in places as a reason for delayed action, for something not happening.
Mm-hmm.
They both are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the point is, right? It's not why it didn't happen necessarily. I mean, unless that is the issue. But at first, you got to deal with the fact that it didn't happen.
That's the first part we got to deal with. And that's the acknowledgement part that it didn't happen.
Like you got to acknowledge that.
Once we do that, then we don't have to nitpick all the excuses or the explanations, because then we can focus on not making that happen. Then we don't need an excuse or explanation. Then it's intentional. It's not just suggestive. Like, I suggest we do this at a certain thing or certain place or whatever. Nah, that's not what that's not meaningful. Because then if we don't do that, then it was just suggesting something, right? It was just intentional. It was just me. It was just trying to do it, just trying to say it, just to be saying it. Like, okay, so like, do I really care about actually getting to the goal, or is it just about discussing the work that needs to be done, but we not going to actually try and do that, try and accomplish that?
That would drive me crazy.
I have a reason why I need to get off the show, guys, because I have to work in the morning. But it was great joining you guys, as always. Cigarden Panel, talking about meaning, the meaning of meaning. And I look forward to discussing our next topic next week. Yeah.
Yeah, Jazz. Before you go.
Yeah, anything?
Real quick.
Sure.
Meaning, bad, good, or misunderstood. What you think?
I think it's good. I think it is a little misunderstood when we got to the nitty gritty of those synonyms and, reading those out and seeing which ones are closest to meaning itself. And, that meaning is more like kind of an emotional word, or, the questions, is it more about fact or is it more about feeling? So I think it can go either way. I think it can be misunderstood. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, meaning, depending on what context you use it in. Yeah.
How you mean? What you mean? How you mean? Right?
What I mean is, when you're saying the word meaning, like you're saying, I don't mean for this to happen. I didn't mean for this to happen, but it did. Now, when you say that in that context, you're saying, I didn't mean to run over that, chipmunk or whatever. That wasn't my intent, but it happened. Maybe that's a bad example. But, something that you don't necessarily intend to happen or want to happen, but it does. Something that you didn't mean to happen. But then also, when you think of the other side of it, I had a meaningful conversation with my mom. Like, it was meaningful. It meant a lot. It was, good, detailed, emotional, whatever. That's more like feeling or fact.
Yeah. No,
depending on what you talked about. But it was meaningful no matter what it was about. So.
Well, thank you for that, Jazz, and thank you for all the comments that you always bring every Sunday. Please make sure you have a peaceful, positive, and productive start to your week.
Thank you. You guys too. Have a great night, guys, and great week. See you next week.
All right. Peace. All right. So we got, why is the word meaning used as a reason for delaying of action? We also had can the meaning of something and the definition of it be different? The Cigarden Panel broke down, we pretty much came to a census that that yes, people use a lot of words that definitely have nothing to do with how those words are defined. Um, and I think it's just really a big common practice just in the English language that we mean something different. We give meaning to words um, that just aren't defined the same way. And I think that we act more on the meaning of the words more than the definition of the words. That's what I've been learning too. One case an example was like nice. Um, when we look at the etymology last Sunday, and we looked at of how the actual meaning of the word is more now is how it's defined versus how it was its inception. So and I'd be inclined to say like it's a new meaning, like for real, like it just got redefined basically. So I don't know if that was done on purpose or if, or how that I don't know how that word transitioned from idiot and stupidity to pleasant and kind and considerate, and that's dangerous. So our second question of this evening was, is the meaning of a word based on facts and feelings or both? And we got a lot of words that were based on both. We got some words that was based on feelings. Jazz Garcelle said, that it would depend on how somebody say the N word, to her. And it wasn't even like in all her honesty and genuineness, she hadn't even put a face on it, a complexion on who was saying it. So it was just like how it's being presented. So that's something that's a mindset that's like, noteworthy when you say like, wow, like a person could just have a certain feeling about a group of words being communicated and it doesn't even matter what the person looks like, who's on the other end of expressing those words. And words do that, have that, because that's how we communicate. Our third question this evening was, why is the word meaning used as a reason for delaying of action? And just like the guy said, and just entertainment, when we looked at excuse, and what was the other one?
Explanation.
Explanation. We looked at both of those, and we correlated it very easily to both of those being, used as reasons for delaying of actions. And in the meanings, they both have intent. They both have an intention, and often nothing has been satisfied yet. It really hasn't been, like we said in the beginning, defined. And that doesn't mean that it isn't significant or meaningful, but once again, it's, we haven't got to the good part yet. We haven't got to the action, what needs to be happening, because we got explanations and excuses going on. So if that kind of sums it up, guys, any one of y'all want to put some sauce on it, please do.
Nah, I ain't got no sauce, bro. It's definitely misunderstood based on everything that my sister said. Depending on this, depending on that, context this, and
Yep.
it's the language barriers, the cultural inflections and all that stuff. Like this is a whole bunch of um confusion. So it's definitely misunderstood on my end from, you know, as far as the questions go overall.
Yeah, just entertainment. You got
I,
bad,
I
good, and
agree.
misunderstood.
I I agree. That was a very in-depth word, and can be used for, like you stated with the third question, past tense. It's crazy the different meanings that meaning can have. You know what I mean? Different definitions that it can be past tense, and then we jump into some other words. It's just when you break it down, because that third question with the delay of action, and like Jazz said, and Ali with the context is used. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, it can be misunderstood. It
Yeah,
can be misunderstood based off of all the definitions and words that are attached to it and the meaning of meaning. Yeah, I definitely think it could be misunderstood. And like we've all stated, in the context that is used is just crazy how it can be misunderstood. But I guess that's why we have to explain ourselves.
yeah.
Exactly. Not excuse ourselves, but explain ourselves.
Right.
Well, it goes back to you, Ali, with people, it's just funny that something that you said about behavior and people being lazy. I didn't say that. I had a family reunion, 2 months ago, and I brought it up with regard to friendships and relationships and things of that nature. And you're right. People are lazy, and it's just easier not to. Yeah, it's just easier not to develop new friendships or have dialogue and conversation, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So even with you, with did you say this was your cousin with the Amazon, trying to receive instructions on how to unlock the steering wheel, or is that
That,
what you said?
that was my baby brother.
Oh, your baby brother. So either
Yeah.
way, that was just a prime example of, even for something professional and in nature, that
Right.
somebody was just being lazy, and it was their job to instruct their subordinate on how to, whatever the issue might be. That's what they're there for, to help them, not deter them from doing their job. But that just goes back to the example of the whole lazy, and just being lazy and communicating and all of that. You know what I mean? And that's what this is. This all is communication, even with the definitions that we present every week, and the meanings and things of that nature. So yeah, I could just say that I thought this was a very successful podcast, and this word meaning, and like I said, it can't be misunderstood. And so that's my take on it.
Yeah, team. That's what I feel like too. Like I'm with y'all. I'm with the whole panel on this. You know, unanimously that it is very misunderstood. But I do think doing things with meaning, having and being more intentional can be good, because it helps you get to the goal, and it's purposeful. It isn't one of those things that we just like looking forward to making an excuse for.
I think we should strive to say those meanings out loud, for what we're doing, right? So that everybody knows what the intent or the goal is, right? So that we don't have to keep saying, nah, I mean,
Okay.
because if you asking the question, then you yourself don't necessarily know if you're being clear.
I was just teasing somebody about that. I I was teasing somebody about that, and I was like, when people say right all the time,
Right?
it,
That's
it's
a
like,
question.
but look, but I was teasing because I was like, how New York people would say something and then confirm it, like they'd say so and so, so and so, word. I was
Word.
like, I thought I was supposed to say word to acknowledge it. I was like, but New York people do that. That is a New York thing. They just say it and then confirm what they just said. And I said that I correlated that with I said was like, now that's the new right. So we do that, like, and it's fluid. It's one of them things that people do. It's a transition word, like, you know what I'm saying? Or
which is
Or
why
you know,
which
or-
is why the language thing was important, right? Because in New York, it might literally just be a New York thing where understanding is understood, but to take it outside of that context, it might be real confusing, right? Like,
absolutely. If a person doesn't understand the language of the culture,
yeah.
yeah, they would they would be looking for it. Like, what? What you mean?
He just answered his own question. Why you ask me that?
Like, it's mad hot out here, word. Like, did you just answer his own question?
Nah, he basically was looking for somebody to say amen.
Word. That was it. Like,
That's it.
yeah, so it's always
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's
nah,
always
that's funny.
I was messing with it though. I was like, answer your questions with your own question. But definitely, y'all, we have had a very meaning conversation this evening, and trying to use the word in the context, because we were trying to get somewhere, trying to get to a understanding or a clearer understanding of the word, and we had some great questions and everything. We want to thank all of you for tuning into another episode. Please join us here next Sunday at 8 p.m. Make sure that y'all have a positive, peaceful, and productive start to y'all week. And we will see y'all next time right here on Cigar Sundays Live. Make sure to like and share the video. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so when we go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live. Peace, God.
Peace, God.
When you look good, you feel good. So let's get back to school with DBCHEFTV merch. August 1st through November 1st. Shop until you drop from our huge selection of apparel and accessories. Use code and enjoy 10% off our entire site at checkout. Visit www.dbcheftv.com. Hit the shopping link while supplies last and get back to school with DBCHEFTV merch.
This whole publication is all about going from nowhere to somewhere, right? Being able to stand on something so that you can travel in peace, right? So bksoulfarm.com, 1016, 160 self-sustainability. Jump on a list and get yourself together, right? Because it is irresponsible to not even know what responsibility means. So get yourself together, food, clothing, and shelter, protection of that, support your interests, and live.
Longer than Marvin gets sexual healing. So let me give it to you and only you, 'cause you're that special. Know that you're special, just like the wind. I'm in love with your body, every piece of your skin. Just know that I love you. Just know that I trust you. Oh yeah. No need to fight it, just try it and let my hands go. Wherever I put them, baby, it's your show. Just first with permission, can I feel slow? Starting at your navel, perfection, girl, I'm able. I want your body like right now. Them